When you type your credit card number into a checkout page, how is it that even a hacker who has silently slipped into your network still can't see that information? How does traffic traveling across the open internet actually become secure? We're going to learn all of that, step by step. Let's start with the first one. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It's the set of rules your browser uses to request and receive web pages from servers on the internet. Every time you type a web address and hit enter, HTTP is the language your browser speaks to fetch that page. It's been the backbone of the web since the early days, and it works remarkably well. But there's a problem. Standard HTTP has a serious vulnerability. Everything sent over HTTP, passwords, emails, personal data, travels as plain text. Anyone who intercepts it can read it instantly. This is called a man-in-the-middle attack. The attacker silently positions themselves between you and the server, reading everything you send, and you'd never know. On public Wi-Fi, this is surprisingly easy to pull off. For banking, shopping, or logging into anything personal, this is a completely unacceptable risk. That's exactly why HTTPS was created. HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. Same protocol, but now with an encryption layer wrapped around it. When you visit an HTTPS website, your data is scrambled before it ever leaves your device. Even if a hacker intercepts it mid-transit, what they receive is completely unreadable, like trying to read a book that's been shredded and randomly reshuffled. You can spot HTTPS in two ways. The URL starts with HTTPS instead of HTTP, and most browsers show a small padlock icon in the address bar. Today, browsers like Chrome explicitly label HTTP-only sites as not secure, a pretty clear signal about which one you should trust. Now, HTTPS doesn't encrypt data on its own. It relies on an underlying protocol to do the heavy lifting, and there are two names you'll hear: SSL and TLS. Secure Sockets Layer was the original solution. It introduced the idea of encrypting web traffic and authenticating servers using public key cryptography. Revolutionary for its time. Transport Layer Security is its modern replacement. TLS is built on the same foundations as SSL, but is significantly faster and more secure. It's what every serious website uses today. People still say SSL certificate out of habit, but what's actually protecting you today is TLS. SSL is outdated and no longer used. The name just stuck around. So when someone says a site has SSL, they almost certainly mean TLS is running under the hood. Before any encrypted data flows, your browser and the server need to agree on how to communicate securely. This is called the TLS Handshake. It happens in milliseconds, completely invisible to you. Your browser contacts the server and says, "I'd like a secure connection. Here are the encryption methods I support." The server responds with its TLS certificate, a digital document issued by a trusted third party called a certificate authority. This essentially proves, "I am who I claim to be." Your browser checks the certificate. Is it trusted? Is it expired? Does it match the domain? If everything checks out, proceed. Both sides need to agree on a shared secret key, but they can never simply send it over the network. Instead, they use an algorithm called Diffie-Hellman to independently arrive at the exact same key, without it ever traveling over the network. At the end of the video, I'll explain exactly how this algorithm works. All further data is encrypted using that session key. Fast, secure, locked. The session key is completely temporary. It vanishes when the connection ends. Even if someone recorded all your traffic and later stole the server's private key, they still couldn't decrypt it. This property is called forward secrecy, and it's one of the reasons modern TLS is so strong. Now let's learn how the Diffie-Hellman algorithm works. The mechanism behind step 4, and one of the most critical pieces of the entire TLS handshake. First, the server publishes two public parameters, a large prime number and a generator. These are visible to everyone, the client, the server, and even the hacker. That's completely fine, because alone, they're useless. Next, each side secretly picks a private number that never leaves their machine. The hacker has no idea these numbers exist. Now each side calculates a public value from their private number and sends it over the network. the hacker sees both public values, but reverse engineering the private numbers from these values is mathematically impossible. Here's where the magic happens. Each side takes the other's public value and combines it with their own private number, and despite never communicating it directly, they both independently arrive at the exact same number. That's the session key. The hacker has everything that was ever sent over the network, the public parameters and both public values. But none of that is enough. To crack the session key, the hacker would need to reverse the formula and recover a private number. In real TLS, the prime number is 2048 bits long. No computer on Earth can brute force its way back in any reasonable amount of time. The session key was never sent over the network, yet both sides have it. That's Diffie-Hellman.